What is going on YouTube? My name is BluePaw. Welcome back to Pokemon Showdown. And before we start the video, if you can, please show some love to that like button down below. I really appreciate your support. Also, be sure to subscribe to never miss Pokemon videos coming in your sub boxes. And feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any set suggestions you'd like to see me use in future videos. I'd love to use anything you guys would suggest. Now without further ado, let's get into the battle. So, at first glance at my opponent's team, he's got a very terrifying Hydreigon, Galvantula, and a Gyarados, especially if that Gyarados runs a defensive set, as I have no electric type coverage on my team. I decided to leave him my Crobat as he sends in a Hydreigon, which was terrifying me at team preview, and we both trade U-turns, showing that this Hydreigon is in fact Choice Scarfed. He goes into his Aggron to soak up that U-turn nice and easily, and I go into my Rose Raid. I'm expecting Stealth Rocks as his Aggron Mega Evolves, so I set up my own spikes, and we just trade hazards. I then decide to go for a Giga Drain and get a bit of damage, but it doesn't too much because the Aggron has lost its Rock type. He goes for a Dragon Tail, which was unexpected, and I do not want my Healer skin on this Aggron, so I switch into Rain Man as to eat up a heavy slam. He switches in this defensive Gyarados, which I'm terrified of, to eat up this Aura Sphere nice and easy, and he's practically at full health already. I switch into Lucy, just to kind of taunt him in case he's his horrible Thunder Wave variant, which is just so powerful in this tier. I can't believe this is allowed. He goes for taunt, predicting me to go for taunt. I don't know how he knew I was going to do that. And this Gyarados is back at full health again, with a paralyzed and taunted Lucy. He then hits me with a crit waterfall, which is really lovely for me. It made my day that. Went out into Matt just because this Crobat is pretty much done for now, and this is a great matchup for me. Seeing the Nidoking, I did not want to risk the electric type move, so I went for a stab Hyper Voice. This is Scarfed, and it did a lot, but I just didn't want my Hydreigon taking that Heliolisk out. He goes for an Earth Power, which showing that my Heliolisk would not have stood a chance, and switches out into a Galvantula to take an Ice Beam, which isn't the best thing in the world for him. But I'm at the point now where I have to switch out into Rose Raid, despite he basically gives him free Sticky Webs, but I have to threaten this Galvantula out. He sees now that his Galvantula has done his job and got the webs up, and I have no hazard removal on my team because my Crobat does not run to Fog. I can take it out with a Sludge Bomb, but it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like a neutral kill. To scale what this Nidoking is going to do, I just switch in Lucy because it's pretty much done for because of Stealth Rocks. And it looked like he was going for an Ice Beam, so it's probably the Life Orb set. I smack this thing with a Surf, and it barely misses taking it out, and I lose my Heliolisk to an Earthquake. But, as predicted, it was Life Orb, and it takes the Nidoking out too, so it's kind of a 1-for-1. Hydreigon comes in, and now with Sticky Web up, it outspeeds everything on my team, as well as the fact that my Choice Scarf is now gone. And he U-turns out against my Blastoise into a Mega Aggron to take this Dragon Pulse somewhat well. It wasn't amazing, but enough to threaten me out, just because of the sheer fatness of Aggron. And he drops a Toxic on my Milotic, which is good for Marvel Scale, but bad in the case of residual damage. I go for a Scald and get a lucky burn, which means the Aggron's going down, but he Dragon Pulses me out into my Rain Man, so I can't really stay in with my Milotic anyway. He then decides to bring back in his Hydreigon. This thing is causing so many nightmares, and my Blastoise is now low enough to be taken out by a Dark Pulse. I then hope that Elvis maybe can outspeed this thing, but this is also my special rule, so it might have a chance of living a hit, but no chance. This Dark Pulse just took that out too. So my Hydreigon goes on a little mini sweep here. But my Milotic apparently is enough to scare this thing out, possibly with the threat of Ice Beam, but I go for Recover instead, keeping my Milotic around for a bit. I then drop a Toxic on this Togetic. As he fires off a Dazzling Gleam, I want to wear this wall down because my spikes aren't going to do anything, seeing as the rest of my team is either Levitate or Flying type, so I don't do too much. I go into Sacred, seeing that he's going for Dazzling Gleam, and I can scare this thing out with the Sacred Fire. However, I have more luck by going for Stone Edge, despite the fact that it misses once, just because the rest of my team is Levitating and takes neutral or super effective damage from his move. But I missed 2 Stone Edges, so this day is going great for me. Luckily I hit the third one, else I probably would have thrown my computer across the room at this point. And I managed to land the next one as well. But the damage has already been done. He's done Dazzling Gleam to me, which means my Entei is dangerously low, especially when I switch it back in from Stealth Rocks later. I go into my Milotic, my physical wall, to take this Earthquake. Nice, that was yeah, you ate that up, Milotic, nice one. I decide to try and drop a Toxic on this Gyarados, but he predicts me and goes for Taunt. This Gyarados just is a nightmare. And then I have no choice just but to hit Ice Beam because my final move is Scald, and I don't see any point to recovering when Toxic damage is going to rack up. So I have to hope for a freeze on this Gyarados, but nothing really comes of it, and his leftovers recovery just kind of neutralizes my damage. So Milotic just didn't really do anything against that Gyarados. You tried, Milotic. And I have no choice now but to go for Extreme Speed with my Entei and pray for a one-hit, but that's only in Fairy Tale Land. So I lost this one to Earthquake and Gyarados, was the bane of my existence. But either way, good game raised. I really enjoyed this match, despite me losing 2-0. I thought it was quite close. So that just about wraps up the video. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below, it really helps out the channel. Also, be sure to subscribe for daily Pokemon videos coming your way. Other than that, have a great day. Peace.